Hello and welcome to another podcast. Dr. Said Says. That's me. I'm Dr. Cedric Wood. Thanks for tuning in. Music is up and then it goes down. Very good. And my little icon is over here saying the name of my podcast and my name. Someday. I'm too busy thinking these days, trying to figure things out. What's going on in America is pretty darn scary. That's what everybody says. And what I want to comment right now is all these troops being sent to cities by President Trump. Okay, first it was Washington, D.C., the National Guard and what they did, and then all the protests, and now he's sending them to Memphis, and the mayor is saying, we don't need the troops there, and I guess the governor of some of these states are saying, we're going to sue you if you send troops here. I guess I'm the only person in the middle that says, man, we need those troops there because of all these criminals that are there. Thank you, President Trump, for sending those troops there to control those criminals, to bring the crime down, because nobody wants that. And so is that what we have to do? Is that what you have to do, is send the troops? Oh, my goodness. But here's a little word of warning, President Trump. Be aware of what the other side is feeling and thinking. Right now, we're in a government shutdown, and that's very upsetting because I feel like if they would allow me to sit in the middle between the two sides, I could help them talk it through, discover what are the true motivations behind these things, what are the feelings that aren't being expressed, which keeps everything obfuscated and confusing. They can't. In other words, there's a whole lot of psychology going on, and there's no psychologist there to talk about it and explain it. Maybe someday, I pray, I hope, I dream, me or someone else will be called up to reveal, of course, a lot of interviews would have to take place, but underlying agendas, hidden agendas would be revealed. That's why the Democrats are doing this. That's why the Republicans are doing that. Their ulterior motives are in there, right? And that gets pretty shady, and it confuses everything. And so it takes a mental health professional to tease it all apart. So having said all that, I want to give a little word of warning to President Trump. I care about you, man. I'm supporting you. Millions of us are supporting you and everything you're doing. However, you have to admit that what you've been doing since you first got into office is radical. Okay, you might own that, but it's also scary. To fire all those people by Doge, to support that, maybe you felt like it was necessary. I was hoping it would save trillions in the budget, but then you go and introduce the big, beautiful bill that wants to spend trillions more. Oh, so you did all the budget cutbacks so that you could spend the money someplace else, not save the money? Is that what you're saying? That's not very genuine if that's what you're doing. But let me just, a little word to the wise. Sending troops in to fight crime smells of something. Try to be aware of this. Having all the generals fly in from all over the world and meet all in a room all together, that was scary. As soon as I heard you were going to do that, I said, man, talk about an opportunity for somebody setting off a bomb or something. No, don't do that. Why are you doing that? And now it's like, we need you to do more military maneuvers in cities. Okay, guys, President Trump, come on. Hegspeth, let's look at it in reality. At least what the other people on the left are saying about it. Own it that it looks very much like Hitler having his brown shirts and his SS troops in the cities controlling everybody. That's what it smells like. Mussolini, fascist dictator in Italy. Just own it that that's the way it looks. This is the way it would sound if you would own it. You'd say, I know it looks that way. It looks like I'm trying to become a dictator and to take over the country. But I'm not. Just tell everybody that you will monitor the situation and tell the governors, tell the mayors, I promise I won't let this go too far. I will not overstep my bounds, okay? I know how it appears, and I respect your needs and your boundaries and your sovereignty, if we can use that word, and I want to respect that. And so this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I'm not going to have troops in your city. Is it Nashville? And take over. I'm not going to do that. And so I'm going to stay open to your point of view and your needs, and I will take your needs and your words into consideration as I go forward and make other plans. That's all you have to do, President Trump. Please, I tell my clients in here, be selfish. Think about what you want. Well, that should be music to your ears. But what is it that I'm referring to? Think about your legacy. Don't you want your legacy to be one where people are proud of you and your image is raised high and maybe a statue is built? I don't know. But that's only going to happen if you govern well and you stay in your adult. These are the three adults over here, 4, 5, and 6, or the 5 levels, and number 3 levels. Number 5, this one right here. Here's a 3-child up there, 3-parent up there. Down here, number 5 is the part of me that says, I hear your pain. Thank you, President Bush. I hear what you're saying, and I'm sure it feels very scary to you. And so I'm going to monitor, and I invite you to monitor my behavior and make sure it's appropriate and within the proper bounds. I'm open to that. Why aren't you saying that? Why is it that you are showing the world egocentrism? The word up here, the parent right up here. I can't make my finger go, well, right there. They're both at the top. Egopathic parent. Right over the egopathic. Why are you showing egopathy? Your legacy is not going to be shining if you keep doing this. Humble yourself. Try to be more humble. I have something called low cap, but L is listen. So I let the people know you're listening to them. But that takes a lot of humility. So it could almost be HOCAP. The O is own it. Own what you're doing. That's what I'm kind of coaching you on here. Own what you're doing. Own that it's scary. Well, that's the C for compassion. Validate that that's scary. Empathize. Ouch, that must really rub you the wrong way. I get it. And so the A is apologize. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm going over. Now I'm going to put another word in there, and that's like you can go ahead and try to justify it at that moment and say, but it's justified. This is step 2. I have step 1, step 2, where you say, however, I'm doing it for this reason. Now the P stands for plan and promise to do better in the future. If you can't do that, at least plan and promise that you're going to be open and respectful of other people's points of view, their feelings. And that shows what? It shows character. Good for you, President Trump, if you can do that. That shows character. Be selfish. Think about your legacy. Don't you want it to be bright and shiny? Then you have to do these things. You have to say these words. You can't just go in there like a big bully. And as soon as somebody says, hey, you're being a big bully, don't shoot back and start calling them names and labeling them. I say to my clients, no name calling, no labeling, and no cussing, of course. And so, yes, Sean Hannity, don't start calling people funny names like Chucky. Come on, that's what we did in the 5th grade. Are you stuck in the 5th grade? That's not impressive. And I want you to succeed too. Mr. Hannity. And so I'm kind of coaching you on coming across in a little bit more mature way. Keep fighting for the things that are on the right, because most of them are right. Okay, I just revealed where I'm at, but I hope that you'll take my words no matter where you are on the spectrum. Let's be kind to each other. Kind, KC7 is kind, caring, conscientious, curious, calm, cooperative, congenial, collaborative. KC7, can you do this? Try to do those things, okay? Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to let it wrap up here. Thanks for listening. Put your comments down there. I answered them all the other night, and so I'm looking forward to answering your comments. This is Dr. Cedric Wood signing off. Dr. Ced Says. That's my podcast. I'll see you next time.